which a lot of people like. Let's talk about the professionals, like people who are using the LinkedIn, who are actually working for someone else. Not the
Yes.
people. What do you think? What tips you can actually give it to them for their LinkedIn profiles?
Yeah, perfect. Great question. I'm glad you asked that. A couple of the biggest things that I see people do wrong on LinkedIn is they write their profile in third person. Make sure you write it in first person. People want to know that there's somebody behind the profile. It's not if you're looking for career development and you're looking for a job, I could understand how it would be a little bit like a CV.
Yes.
Okay. But if you're in a sales or you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to connect with potential customers, I think the worst thing that you could send people to is a version of your CV. So you want to make sure that it's written in customer-centric language so that they engage. It should be just as important as your website, because we all know that, well, we don't all know this, but just an interesting fact, the number of people searching for people's personal names on Google is going up dramatically at the moment. Last year, there was over 1 billion searches in the US for people's personal names. So like if you go to a meeting and you say, hey, I want to search for the guy's name before you look onto Google, generally what you see at the top of the search results is their LinkedIn profile or their Facebook page.
Yes.
And so how important it is that piece of online real estate to, engaging the customer in, actually guiding them through your credibility and showing some social proof and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's really important to take the time to write it in customer-centric language and also tell people why it is that you do what you do. What makes you passionate about what you do? Because that's how you make a point of difference.
Yes.
It's all very well saying, I'm an accountant and I specialize in this areas, or even worse, I started my career as an accountant and then I had a change of heart and I went into financials. People are so bored already, but you're better off saying, I love helping people achieve their financial goals through, accounting or something like that, which shows your passion, shows your humanity, and also gives people a little bit of an insight as to why you do what you do. And I'll reference Simon Sinek's book and his TED Talk and a number of his quotes where he says, start with why. And I couldn't agree with that more. I think it's really important because as soon as you tell people why, you actually start to build trust and they actually start to listen and believe what you say.
Yep, I love that guy. Absolutely love that guy. Right. So his talk, and his book, Start With Why. When I read it for the first time, absolutely changed the way I thought things. I never thought of that way. But when I started looking at when the example he gave about Apple and Microsoft and the other companies, I think it's very important for people who are listening and watching right now to go and watch that Start With Why TED Talk, which he did in
check out the TED Talk.
2008, 2009. I think one of those times he did it, and one of the best TED Talks ever.
Yeah, that's awesome. I couldn't agree with that more. So on your LinkedIn profile, throw that stuff in there. Don't be afraid to beef out the content. The cool thing about LinkedIn is it's very easy to rank towards the top because a lot of people still don't know how to use it effectively. And the reason behind that is, it was started out, I've seen the business plan of when LinkedIn first did their capital raising, and the target market was people who were looking for jobs, recruiters. Basically, it was a career-focused site. What's happened now, though, is there's more marketers and more salespeople and more entrepreneurs using the platform than there are people in recruitment.
True.
So LinkedIn's had to adapt its business model a little bit, but it's left a lot of people not knowing how to use it effectively. And for the future, by the way, I think the most important thing on LinkedIn is to actually start publishing content. I've seen a lot of business professionals and entrepreneurs who write really valuable content go from getting 200, 300 views from their immediate network to literally getting 300,000 or 400,000 views using the Pulse platform. So really effective if you can start publishing content that people want to read.
That's a very good point, because a lot of people who can actually do that work, who are actually doing that work, not using that Pulse platform really well. Because
that's right.
The only thing they have there is just a profile, not actually using the LinkedIn as it should be.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome opportunity, and a lot of people will try it once, and you can see them because you go to the profile and you just see one article. But it's very important to be consistent. If nobody reads it, just make sure more than one person reads it next time, and make sure 10 people read it the time after that. But if you can keep being consistent, then as those people start to jump in, even if it is only 10 people, you're starting to create raving fans, and they're actually become your marketing team and be word of mouth for you. The wrong thing to do is go, oh, it's only 10 guys, I'm not going to bother doing it again. 10 guys is a good start. And if you look after those people at the start, you know, the network will grow by itself. And I know that Gary Vaynerchuk is also another, I'm dropping names now, but Gary Vaynerchuk's another guy I, you know, follow, and he still knows the names of some of the guys that followed him on Twitter to start with.
Yes.
You know, isn't that amazing?
I'm glad that you mentioned his name, because what he started doing is, now I've noticed it, he actually never did the blogging before. So he never wrote a blog, but now from last 3 to 4 months, or since 2017 started, he actually started doing blogging as well on LinkedIn or other places.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen that in the past, because he was pretty good with the YouTube videos and
that's it. Yeah. Well, so play to your strengths as well. Like if you're good, if you feel comfortable in front of the camera, do videos. If you're a good writer, do vlogs. Doesn't really matter, but as long as you're getting stuff out there. But like, I think if you're stopping and you're thinking about what people are going to think about you, or what you want to say, then you're really, you're going to come across inauthentic in any event. I think the main thing is to know where, what your market's interested in, know how you can add value, and not worry so much about what people think of you, because let's face it, if you're going to be targeted, there's always going to be people that aren't interested in what you do. But that's the point, is to get rid of them quickly and focus on the people that are interested. You know, like about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, if you were a vegan bodybuilding trainer in Tasmania, you probably wouldn't get many clients. But these days, that's exactly the sort of business that would do well. You know?